All right, guys. It's grand finals time here at DreamHack Dallas. Falcon Solar in the bottom right side of the map. Vitality's Maru in the top left. There's been such a whirlwind of good StarCraft with tournaments jam-packed. The most dense season of high-level StarCraft we've ever seen, leading into the Esports World Cup, which is about a month out from when I'm live casting, well, this replay, I should say, casting this replay on my stream. And it's taken us a while to get to cast this one, simply because, well, we've had so many other games. You know, it's been Star Wars Agora, all the online qualifiers. We've had Dallas. We've had so many tournaments back to back to back, not to mention the weekly scene online, which has been putting out some bangers as the players do grind hard, trying to be as good as they can leading into this situation. And we're going to be starting off here in this grand finals with Maru with a 2 RAX Reaper pressure up against Solar, who appears to be going for a hatch gas pool. So 16 hatchery, 18 gas, 17 pool by the looks of it. Very solid opening against this. As long as he makes Ling speed pretty early, he can deal with those Reapers. The question for me is, does he take his third before the Reapers? Does he go for the third, or does he hold off on it and just stay 2 base, essentially, against this? Second depot goes down in the back. You know, you can go for a depot there and a depot here and have a double layer wall off. That's actually like a cute thing you can sometimes do. Not sure if it's worth it or not. Tech Lab and Reactor will be exposed on the outsides of the wall later on after the transition. And check this out, guys. Solar hasn't scouted at all. He's just looked for proxy barracks. He checked the right, and he checked all the way down here. He's worried about the classic Maru Marine bunker rush coming in early. But that is going to delay him knowing that it's actually a 3 RAX Reaper. Or 2 RAX Reaper, I should say. Command Center, of course, will come down behind it as well. He's going to have no idea if this is 2 RAX, 3 RAX for quite some time. Starting to pull off gas here. Ling speed, he does have 100 minerals and 100 gas. Starts that immediately. So Solar really quick into Ling speed. Very safe opening. I think he's well prepared to deal with the 2 RAX Reaper of Maru. Maru comes in, throws a grenade. Ling's dancing back and forth. And that drone is ready to take that third base. But has he seen the extra Reapers? I don't think he has, guys. Second Reaper will arrive soon. That's going to be the first thing he knows of it. Third hatchery starts. And nice pullback on that. Does he lose any Zerglings? No. Great micro for Solar. We'll need to pull another Queen down. Dodges the grenade, but he's got to be careful of that Red Point drone. Oh, the Red Point drone! The Red Point drone! Oh, Maru saw it. Solar did not expect him to go back in for that. Both Queens are now on the front, though. And you know there's multiple Reapers, so you do as Solar know kind of what's happening. He's building a few more Lings and a Queen. The Reapers are going to go for the third hatchery. I think in this case, you have to drone up, because I don't think you can get Ling speed out to defend this third hatchery in time. Even though it's only 3... No, there's a 4th Reaper. And even if the Queens move off creep like this, he can actually zone you with Reaper grenades so very effectively. So every time the Queen has to move back to those Reaper grenades, and that's just really hard to get over to defend it. Then again, maybe if he traps all the Reapers, it could be worth. He's going to go up to 20 Zerglings. 3 more drones are on the way. And these Reapers rotating around. Oh, cancels it, rebuilds. But you don't want to lose it again. If you lose this twice, it's a disaster. Oh my god, it's getting low. He has to cancel it a second time. And Ling speed's not quite ready. Okay, there we go. Ling speed is ready. He should be able to trap these Reapers now. Surely they're all going to go down, I think. But Reaper grenades being annoying. 1 Reaper is going to escape temporarily just to buy a little bit of time. Going to need to leave a few Lings on the low ground and send a few to the high ground. Or maybe the Queen, I guess. I guess the Queen has to go to the ledge, as the Zerglings can't quite reach it. Reaper jumps down, does go down. So at the end of the day, you've cancelled the third twice, but he did rebuild it pretty quickly, Solar. He's droning back up behind. He's definitely behind on workers. Oh, Reactor. Reactor would actually be a really big pickoff. I get Stims big. I actually think the Reactor's maybe an even bigger cost here since that Stim just started. Might be a controversial take, but I think that Reactor, yeah, he could have focused that down as well. If he split his fire, he could have got both. Missed opportunity. Now, the reason why it's a bigger thing is Tech Lab, 18 seconds to build. Reactor, 36 seconds. So even though and 25 more gas cost on it. Plus, it's going to reduce the Hellion production, which is, of course, the big scary thing right now. Third Command Center coming in behind this. Double Engineering Bay. What? Okay, did he go double eBay before second barracks? I think he did. So it's no Starport. He's just going to have some Hellions for map controllers, Maru. Go for the fastest upgrades ever. Overlord's going to see the third Command Center, but I don't... Oh, actually, I think he will see that engineering bay unless he turns to the right, which he does. Solar just barely going to miss the really quick E-bays. Oh, okay, he diverts. He sees the engineering bays are finished. That's a really important scout. So he knows, okay, it's pretty fast upgrades. Maybe he doesn't know just how early they are, but he is going to respond with his own double Evo to try to keep that gap as small as possible in the upgrades. Drones building, Overlord's building. Solar's really good at just the fundamentals of Zerg. No getting supply blocked for him. No lair yet, though. He's going to go 1-1 before a lair. I think it makes sense when you've seen the fast engineering base. It does just feel like the lair itself is going to be quite delayed. You can see melee starts. He didn't quite have the resources for carapace, so he starts that just a few seconds later. And there we go. 3 barracks coming up. Armory as well. Tech Lab did just finish. Single Zergling's going to spy this third base. 10 worker advantage for Solar. And I think this is, as the dust settles, a relatively even game. Considering you've both slowed down your start, that's a pretty early 4th base. The third is just now getting its resources going. I mean, this... Yeah, there's upgrades are sick for Maru, and he's getting an armory, so he's going to have a very quick 2-2. But, I mean, he's going to have to start 2-2, maybe even before making his 4th and 5th barracks. Which is kind of crazy. You know, to go 2-2 upgrades on 3 barracks, it's like, cool, you're going to have the best upgrades ever. Is your army going to be that big? Like, when is he actually going to snowball his army size? Maru pulling SCVs from the main to the 3rd, even though his main's not... Ah, it's for the barracks. Okay, so he's going to go 5 barracks just before 2-2 starts. Held that marine timing on the front. Oh, okay, cute little pressure that he's going to mix in here. Does delay Maru's 2-2 slightly while he's just focused on this, but queens are there. Baneling's not quite ready. Solar, oh, he's taking big damage. These Banelings, so many Banelings are a little bit late. The queens are fighting, but he's already lost 1 queen and most of his transfuses have gone down. He's got to fight right now to defend this. Solar doesn't really lose too much. Looks like some Lings ran in and got 4 SCVs at the same time. Damage to Siege Tank, didn't manage to take it out. 7 queens are out. 5 defending the front. He's going to rebuild the injecting queen on his 3rd. And these 5 queens do hold solid. 10 more drones come in as well. Great defense for Solar. But he's up against what is now 5 barracks. 2-2 upgrades on the way. Do we bother with the vehicle weapons for the siege tanks, I wonder? Tank production has been halted. No gases on the 3rd. No 4th command center. And there we go. That's why. It's because we're doing an 8 racks. 8 racks. Maru does not want to play a long, slow game against Solar. He knows Solar gets in control at Hive Tech. Let's not let him get there. 9 more drones on the way. Remember, guys, Solar was up 2-0. Was it 2-0 on Hero Marine at Katowice 2020 or something like that? There's like it was a quarterfinals or whatever there was that Hero Marine Solar match, I remember, where Solar was beating Hero Marine and Hero Marine just kept 8-raxing him before 8 racks was cool many years ago. And he managed, and Solar just couldn't quite stop it. Solar, in this case, he's trying to go high of 2-2, Lingbane, Hydra, but he needs to realize what's happening right now, and he's not really scouted. He's got good creep spread, good control. If he doesn't know that Maru's 100% committed to this push, it's going to be hard. And he's got to try and delay the fighting for when the 2-2 catches up, which means right now, if we check the upgrade differential, 92 seconds against 50, it's about a 40 to 45 second upgrade differential. That 45-second window, if Maru can force a fight during that double upgrade window, it could just be a game-winning move. But if Solar can counterattack and distract him and buy a bit of time, maybe give up a hatchery if he has to, then that'll be massive. Bang Ledge is here, but the queens are well positioned. So all he does is deny a bit of mining time. Maru's just trying to distract him. Lurkaden's coming down, and Overlord speed, and another couple of drones. Solar, no scouting for him. He's too busy. Maru's keeping him busy with these drops, and Solar just trying to defend the multi-drops. He's not making any attempts to scout. And look at this, guys. 2-2's almost done. The bio tank coming out. To be fair, it feels like 2-2's done, and he's not even started moving. But there we go. Now he does. 71 workers. Mass bio. He's even got +3 weapons started straight away. Maru knows this isn't necessarily just a single knockout punch. It might take a few more minutes to finish him off. So he starts 3-3 straight away. Mass marine tank on the way. The Hive's not there. Vipers is what all the pros tell me is what you need to shut down in 8 racks. Because if you get rid of the tanks with either Abduct or Blinding Cloud, you can deal with the rest. But it's those couple of siege tanks that add so much power to this. And in fact, he's even left one at home, I think. I only see 2 siege tanks on the front. Hellbat Marine count is kind of crazy. The creep is helping. Solar's going to try and counter with a lot of Zerglings there. There is a few Marines at home. He realizes they're coming, though, so he's got time to prepare. Maru's going to move over with his Marines. A lot of them do get surrounded in the open. This looks like a pretty decent fight for Solar. Meanwhile, Solar's Hydra Bane. He gives up his 5th base. 5th base, not important at all. The Lings, they take an okay trade, but oh, he kind of walks through the army a little bit there. He's going to try and ambush. This could be a big moment. Solar, I think he could have cleared that army, guys. I actually think he had the numbers. Because Maru doesn't have that many Marines there. He's deep on creep. His tanks were exposed. Maru grabs a hatchery and is so happy to get out of there. But Solar a little afraid right now and down 2,000 resources in the units lost. And Maru, what's so cool, he's playing this like Cure. Cure's been doing this a lot. You commit to the 8 racks, but then you don't really commit. And now you add add-ons, you add the extra tech labs from Marauder production. You didn't slow down your upgrades at all. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. Game did freeze up there for a moment. Oh no, looks like this computer doesn't have issues that the previous one did. Oh, another little lag spike there. Okay, not sure what's going on, guys. Hopefully that does solve itself. Classic pig running just too many apps, probably. See how we go. Tank bio moving forward on that left side. Hopefully you guys let me know on the stream if it is all smooth from that point, other than those hitchy hitches. Lingbane going to be able to deal with this. I think he can. Nice blinding clouds. The tanks get cleaned up. Solar doing really well against this, but he had to bring his entire army to bear, which means, oh no, the tech's vulnerable. The Lurker tank goes down. If he can get the hive as well, that could be absolutely devastating. The Lings are coming in. Don't think he can get the hive. Surely Maru can't get the hive here. Maru does pick up, saves a lot of the Marines, but still far ahead in the units lost tab, and Solar struggling on this map. I like the way Maru's just controlling this area, creating a no-go zone there. The Marine drops on this side being a nuisance, but Solar's hung on pretty well. I gotta say, he's weathered the storm. He didn't know the 8 RAX was coming. Unfortunately, the Lurkers get dropped on, and oh, the Marines find some good damage. This has always been a classic weakness of Solar. I mean, it's a weakness of every Zerg, you could say, but essentially, it's the struggle to sometimes deal with just crazy drops, right? It's whenever it looks like the Zerg's finally stabilized, and then the Terran just starts diving drops like a YOLO Lord. It's why Beyond actually has quite a lot of wins against Solar, even though you think Solar's better in this matchup, like in terms of the fundamentals, because Beyond's so good with those multi-drops, and that's kind of what Maru's channeling right now. That drop in the back being so annoying. The Mass Marine Marauder says, hey, I've got 3-3, you've only got 2-2. I would love to trade right now. The hatchery's going to go down. So not only does he get the hatchery snipe, but Solar kind of running in and out, unable to commit to the fight. Lurkers are all on that right side. They're not really doing anything. He needs the Lurkers against the bio on the left, but the drop is just keeping him distracted enough that he doesn't have it over there. I think Solar needs to bring those Lurkers over to this left side. Marines even dropping behind the Zerg army, and Solar is at about half of the efficiency right now. The lack of mobile anti-air making it really hard to deal with this. Unloads, kills a Hydra. These Marine drops being so annoying. Every Zerg out there feels the pain of Solar right now, because normally we don't see pros get circles run around him like this, but it's because the pressure on the front is so frightening that drop in the back is so distracting, because you've got two big problems to deal with. The main army is such a big problem, and it's allowing those drops to be way more effective because of it. Wow, Lingbane Hydra, though, gets a pretty good fight with the blinding clouds, making the units kind of derp on in there. Looks like those medevacs finally got cleaned up. Some Lurkers are here on the front. He's rebuilt his Lurker den. His hive's up. He does have Adaptive Talons now finished. Really good rallying here for Solar. But he's going to have to try and respread creep on these edges, where you can see he's lost a fair bit of control. And that's where things could be a little bit iffy. Oh, here we go. Bio coming forward right now. Lurker gets sniped. Another one does as well. Hatchery's taking damage. Nidus Worm going up on the north side. It's not super deep, but that's a lot of depots. Get those Lurkers in there. Go, 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 Solar. You don't have much time to work. These are unsupported Lurkers. He's just going to burrow, take out a few SCVs, maybe some depots, but he can't lose them. He's going to have to pull these back sometime in the next 20 seconds, and already a single tank pushes it away. That is frustrating. If he could get a Lurker in air, a Lurker in there, a Lurker in the main, you know, just force Maru to spend some time on cleanup duty on his side of the map would be game-changing. But Solar needs that respite. He needs that moment to breathe, because his main's half mined out, natural, half mined out, third, looking reasonably healthy there. But of course, this one's gone down. This base is up now. The 5th base that got cancelled earlier. Got to have a moment to rest. Meanwhile, Maru, pure Marine Marauder tank. He's got Mass Command Center on the way, 6 orbitals up, 3 more Command Centers finishing as we speak. Now, Mass Ling beats Marauder tank pretty hard. This army's actually really small, but Solar doesn't know the depth. He doesn't realize 3/4 of the army's on the left. He could have jumped on this army by now, but he's just getting pushed into a corner, very defensive, because he's like, oh, my Viper's energy's not ready. This isn't ready. Oh, no, oh, no. He's throwing a Nidus Worm up on the other side of the map. Little does he realize, once again, Maru has split his army half and half, and I think he's taking advantage of the fact that Solar's a little afraid of him. You look at the history between these two players, it is very predatory in terms of win rate. Maru, massive advantage in the head-to-head. Even though Solar's, I think, just as good, if not more good, if they just played a very standard game and Maru didn't know it was Solar, I feel like Solar's actually kind of the better straight-up player. But I think Maru... Oh, no! Solar accidentally attacked the rocks there with a misclick. He does get a lot of Marines, though. He does get a lot of Marines. There's a good fight there for Solar, but it's just his income. He lost 2 bases. He needs to counter now. And like I said, I think Maru knows exactly when to bully against Solar. Like, he has this mental edge where he plays so risky against Solar at times and then so all in at other times, and he picks his moments so well. And that's just confidence that comes from knowing that you've dominated a player in your history of the head-to-head matchup. Planetary Snipe for Solar. Lurkers in the back door as well, but oh, one of them's not quite burrowed. And the bio was pretty spread out, so it actually cleans up these Lurkers with the scans and the snipes. Nice clean up for Maru. Gets rid of the last Nidus Worm. If he can get this new planetary established on the front, that's going to be amazing because Solar just has no money behind it. Solar finally started winning fights, getting aggressive, jumping on things, but I can't help but wonder, if he jumped on that push on the right side that was just a handful of Marine Marauders, 2 tanks, could he have he could have kept the north base alive, and he could have rotated south and maybe kept that base alive. This would be a very different game right now. But it's because Maru is willing to push aggressively. He shuts down Solar's map vision. He did a very greedy build with those fast upgrades, commits the 8 racks, and he just never lets Solar take the first step. And Solar, I've always said Solar's probably the best purely defensive ZVT player in the world, but that's also his weakness, is that he does just try to defend all game until you give him a chance to counterattack, often at Hive Tech. And the Terran players, Maru especially, he's gotten so good at saying, hey, when you get to Hive Tech, I'm going to have drops in the back of your bases. I'm going to have the whole map covered in command centers. I'm going to be attacking you from 3 places. And your Lurkers, your Vipers, those Hive Tech units aren't even going to be in the correct positions. So I think it's fascinating to see, because for years, Solar's been the guy, we call him Rocky Balboa's ZVT. Take a punch to the face repeatedly for 10 minutes until your opponent gets tired and then you knock them out. But I think guys like Maru, who are teammates with him for a good 5 years, I know they're on different teams now, Falcons against Vitality, but he knows him so well. And I think Solar, he's going to have to mix probably some all-ins, some crazy Ling run buys, some different styles, because I think this is a pretty good winning formula. Is extreme greed into extreme aggression, into extreme greed, into extreme aggression. I know that sounds a little incoherent, but you can see Maru's got this game in the bag at this point with the supply. Basically, greed into aggro, into greed into aggro. It just seesawing between those two while Solar tries to play a very safe middle-of-the-road style. It will be a smart plan for Maru, and I think he does pretty well there. The 2 racks Reaper, I think, was defended quite fine by Solar, but Maru just relentless from then on out. Alright, Solar in the top right side of game 2, Maru in the bottom left, and we are going to be going for a 16 hatchery off of the 15 Overlord. For Solar, Maru's going to go low ground wall off again, but he's changing it up. It's a command center first. So you notice he goes 17 command center here. So he's just non-stop building SCVs, no gas, straight into command center. And I think he rallies the next one to the natural for a barracks, surely, right? Yeah, I was like, dude, are we... Oh, command center into a gas. Okay, guys, if you would like a serving of extra greed with your greedy douchebaggery, try this build out. This is savage. This barracks is so late, but it's because he wants to go straight into Hellions, I think. Fascinating. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And he's going to wall off with like an add-on and then like maybe a factory here. This is a sick build. Maru being as greedy as they get. He opened 2 racks Reaper. Solar played very safe and conservative in game 1. If he played like a gasless build or something, it might have got under his skin a bit more. As it was, Solar defended fine. But it's not like he found himself ahead, right? Getting the 3rd cancelled twice was pretty rough. And that did cost him. So the thing is now, if Solar doesn't pull off gas, which he's not doing right now, normally if you wanted to do delayed Ling speed, you'd pull off gas. So if he makes a safety Ling speed, makes 4 or 6 Zerglings, which he's going to do because his Overlord didn't even go across the map, so he doesn't even know that it's a command center first. So look at this, guys. Solar's going to go for all the safety things, which makes sense. You just played against 2 ranks Reaper, and Maru's like, lol, I'm not even going to have a Marine out. I'm going to go, is he going to go reactor first or something? Like factory, reactor? 1 Marine, factory, and then reactor, yeah. The greed. The greed knows no bounds for Maru. And Solar, there we go. Look at that, guys. 2 Lings are out. He's building 6. He's building 6 Zerglings against a command center. You don't even need 6 against a normal Reaper opening. You guys know, I had a debate for a few years with Solar where I kept DMing him and I was like, you know, 4 Lings is better than 6. And he I was like, trust me, try. I kept harassing Solar to do 4 instead of 6 a few years ago. I think it was during COVID, right? This is like one of the back and forths we had where I was like, stop building 6 Lings, build an extra drone. It's so much more worth it. And he was like, no. But in this case, it's actually really bad because Maru's obviously not even built a Reaper, and that's fine. Maru just has to build a Hellion and 2 Marines here. Yeah. No, he'd like to lift it off, but with 6 Lings there, you can't risk it. You build a Hellion, build 2 Marines, then you swap over and you're fine. 3rd command center on the high ground as well. Dude, this build is so disgustingly greedy. And I say disgustingly, sorry, that's me being Zerg biased. Beautifully, deliciously, delectably greedy if you're a Terran player. I mean, it's sick. It's awesome. It's a very, very, very good way to take advantage of a Zerg who is known for being very conservative. And like I was saying before, Solar, the best way to play against Solar is greed. Historically, Solar has smashed Maru a handful of times in big best of 5s and best of 7s in their career. It's always come when Maru tried to just do all in into all in into all in, like super aggressive. Because for those who don't know, Maru is an expert at early game and he's an expert at late game. He's not very good in the mid game compared to how good he is in the early. Like, obviously, he's still a top tier player at those stages. But like a guy like Raynor or Serral, usually the reason they have, well, Raynor not so much, but Serral has a really good win rate against him. And when Raynor does maul Maru, it's in the mid game, right? Because the multitasking he can't quite keep up with, whether it's the shoulder injury or something else. So when he plays super aggressive, which is normally one of his strengths, Solar slaps it down because Solar's such a safe player. Solar's very standard, right? 6 lings, ling speed, make 8 queens. You know, it's very standard, straight up build. So the thing is, if he can be greedy and then be really aggressive off of that greed, go straight into an 8 racks or something like the last game. But, you know, he could be in a really good spot. Now, obviously, this time, it's a very different build because he hasn't committed to 2 Rex Reaper, 4 Reapers. He's beelining up that macro path. Once again, insanely fast upgrades. Does forget his +1 armor, which is a small mistake. We'll see if he corrects that. But he's already got those extra barracks going down. 5 barracks going up right now. The extra armor upgrade does begin. It's going to be a defensive roach play for Solar on Ultra Love. This is a map with amazing tank spots. So the Ravagers can help you clear those tanks. But you need to make sure you actually have enough firepower to deal with the Marines. And that's where there's 2 styles. One is the Infestor style, which you guys know I think is much better with Roach Ravager. But you need to have a lot of Roach Ravager. So there's a fine line as Zerg, where whenever the push does come, whether it's an 8 racks or just a 5 racks into 4 command center, there's always going to be bio tank, bio mine. You need to have a mixture of enough Roach Ravager and either fungal or a ton of banelings to actually shut down the Marines enough that your Ravagers can get in range of the siege tanks. And if that's not possible, that's where things get really awkward. Single cloakless Banshee. Notice this, guys. No second Banshee, no cloak. The 5 barracks are up. The 1-1 upgrades are there. I think we'll see Armory start very quickly. Yeah, look at that. Armory, because he wants to start 2-2 the second that finishes. And that's a 46-second to build time structure. He needs the Armory to start 2-2. It's lining up perfectly. Maru's builds are tight today. 1-1 is on the way for Zerg. Very quick infestation at 550 for a normal game, and yet it almost feels late compared to where Maru is in his build due to this opening being just sick. Maru's openings. And notice he's not in Solar's face. He poked with a few Hellions. That's all he's done this game. It's an economic arms race. Maru trying to build forwards. The creep spread's been pretty decent. If you can get that creep out a bit further, that's one way you can punish a Terran who's a bit more passive, is just having really non-stop creep spread. Tanks are building. 1-1 upgrades finish. Armory finishes at the same time as +1 attack. How quick is he on starting +2, guys? Doesn't have the gas. It's a little light on the gas. 3 more barracks are going down. Factory lifted off that reactor, so he's going to build 1 barracks on it, 2 more barracks there. This is an 8 racks once again, and a gas goes down, +2 weapon starts. Slightly low on gas is Maru. But dude, he's going to be hitting so much earlier than the last game. It is the Baneling transition for Solar. You need a heck of a ton of Banes, and it's really hard to get Bane speed in time to actually connect, especially on this map with these bridges. This is a map where it's going to be really awkward having enough units to defend. Solar building 7 more drones. I think that's okay, but he's got to stop there. And he needs to instantly make 2 Vipers, or even just 1. And he just needs to wait, hold off until he gets Blinding Cloud out. Like, that's the big thing for him right now. He's also going to need at least 3 Ravagers to snipe tanks when they come forward. If you don't have at least 3 Ravagers, the tanks can just kind of walk up in your face and siege right on top of you. There we go. Those 3 Ravagers are morphing on the right side. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful defense by Solar. Solar's not scouting, though. Like, we know it's an 8 racks. He does not know, guys. He's building 2 more drones, getting awfully close to 80 workers. Those 2-2 upgrades, once they're about halfway done, Maru's going to think about moving out because he wants to be sieged on the front in a good position where he can force a fight when he's got the 2-2 upgrade advantage. It is 1-1 range carapace. Melee and +2 carapace have started. They're not too far behind. Green drop on the right side as well. Another drone comes in. Solar. Those 2 Vipers are going to be out in time to help defend this. The question is, can his Ling Bane connect at all? Solar cannot build any more drones. He needs to do nothing But Ling Bane from here, and there's always an awkward moment in this middle stage where your Roach Ravager may block your Zergling Baneling from getting in the fight. So it's all about the positioning, because this is going to move out any moment now, guys. Maru's ready. He's got the 8 racks. He's added tech labs. Oh, he's added tech labs on the extra barracks. So he's got 3 tech lab barracks. He's building 3 Marauders and about 10 Marines at a time. The Marines start trading on that right side. What did he kill? 5 Roaches for 9 Marines. I mean, that's okay. I think Solar's fine with that trade. Solar's still building more drones, though. He's gone up to 86 workers. Solar's just not been scouting. He's getting ARAX 2 games in a row, and he has no idea that this is happening. He's gone up to 87 workers. He's been far too greedy, but the Vipers are ready. If he can hold off the fight until those are ready, maybe he can make some magic happen. But look at these tanks on the bridges. He's got to be careful not to block his Marines, Maru. If you siege and you block your Marines from retreating, Banelings can connect on them. Solar looking for the engagements, but he's got to find it just right. 17 more Banelings are on the way. But right now, 2-2 is done, and Maru says, let's fight right now when I've got that upgrade advantage. Let's go, mate. Where are those Vipers, guys? Where are they? They're coming in on the right side of the screen. They're not in range yet. He needs to bring those Vipers in. I don't know if he can get them anywhere near the siege tank. Solar already bleeding out vast amounts of units right now. You can see he's already losing a lot of stuff. He's got to come in. The Vipers are going to lead the charge. Here we go! Vipers coming in. First Blinding Cloud is good. Second is fantastic. Third is also fantastic. He does throw a 4th one down on the bio, but it looks like he might not have enough Ling Bane. He attacks just before +2 Carapace. He would have had to give this base up, which would have been a disaster because it would have cut off the base to the bottom right as well. He was not willing to do that. He had to fight to defend this base, but that was Maru forcing a fight at 2-2 against 1-1 upgrade, sorry. It was a double upgrade advantage. Once again, 3-3, and then a 4th command center is coming in behind it. It's an incredibly committed 3-base push. He does not want to give Solar room to get to late game, and he doesn't give him room for it. That's so well done by Maru. The way he keeps pushing there. This map with this bridge here is so hard to deal with, and one has to look at this and go, what could Solar have done? What could have been a bit better? I'm wondering if Abduct would have been nicer for him here. So the weird thing you end up with in these scenarios is Banes are kind of worthless against Marauders and tanks. I actually think Maru's build kind of hard counters Solar's build. So whenever you do a Roach Ravager into Lingbane Viper, if they can hit you, if they hit you with the really fast 8 racks with no tech labs, it can get kind of crushed by this sometimes, especially if the Vipers come out. But once they get to the Marauders, if they wait for the tech labs, wait for the Marauders, this row of Marauders spread on the front line is just so hard to get through. You need a lot of Lings to overwhelm Marauder tank. But how do you do that and get your Banelings onto the Marines? It feels like the Marines are there in the back, well protected, very hard to get those Banelings to them. And even with some Blinding Clouds, it's hard to deal with this sort of force. Now, I do think Solar over-droned, absolutely. I don't think he should have gone past 80 workers. And it's always hard because I'm like, well, I think if we're not going to fight with +2 Carapace, you actually probably need to fight a little bit earlier. And I know that's easy to say here from the sideline, but I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking because I don't think Solar was in a terrible spot. Even though Maru got ahead with the greedy start, I think maybe these Vipers needed to come in earlier, right? He waited till max energy. You don't need max energy, I don't think. Maybe just a single Blinding Cloud on each Viper and go for the engagement earlier. I feel like out here is a bigger open area. And I think if his army's flanking from like either this left side or this right side as well, it's just naturally going to be a prettier engagement. But the way Maru kind of pressed him in and he ended up kind of fighting through this choke point, it just felt like this positioning was so well set up for Maru. And I don't know if Solar could have counterattacked with all of his Zerglings earlier and cut off the rally. Done something here to try to, you know, make this positioning a little bit better. But essentially, it felt like Maru set up the perfect push. He pointed at the ground. He said, please fight right here, right now. And Solar chose to fight. And I think in this case, Maru was Max Holloway. Solar was Justin Gaethje. He'd already taken that brutal, was it like a spinning kick to the ribs or something in the first round that messed him up? I mean, he's a warrior. Solar Gaethje says, let's fight. And he gets knocked the F out here. I just don't think you can fight front on into this position. Because even he just doesn't have enough once he gets through the choke point in the front Marauders to actually break onto the tanks on the back line. Nice play by Maru. Really good 2-0 lead. Alright guys, Maru in the bottom left side of the map. Once again, going to go for a low ground depot. Looking to keep the momentum rolling here. As it is going to be a barracks. into a delayed gas. Okay. So we are looking at a Marine first, 1 RAX expand, I imagine. I always wonder when you delay that gas. So you can still get a factory at a decent timing, but you want to build a few Marines and kill the Overlord. Solar is still paranoid about proxy barracks. So this is fascinating, because I feel like after the command center first caught him last game, you need to send the Overlord directly to this pillar, and then this dead space to see, am I getting 2x Reapered? What's going on? And I know losing an Overlord sucks in the early game, but I think Maru showed immense greed in that last game. And that was part of why I think Solar might have been able to not even scout the 8 RAX and defend with the style he played if he was in a more competitive position after the openings. But the opening was just so streamlined for Maru. Really well done. Now remember, if an Overlord comes in here, you can't hide on the pillar because, of course, the barracks can lift off to snipe it. But these Overlords are coming in so delayed, I don't think the Marines will be finding them either way. And what timing can you... Okay, so check it out. With this gas timing, yes, it's a little delayed, but because you're not building a Reaper, you can still get the factory up right now. But, oh, he sent his SCV down late, I think. Oh, no, he doesn't really have the minerals for it. Ah, okay. So you still get the factory up at 2 minutes, just after 2 minutes. Cool build order. There's going to be 2 Marines. Our Overlord's going to come in from the north. The Marines are going to go hunting, but they go in the wrong direction. Could go across the map, though, and try to pick off the Overlord, perhaps. Third hatchery is going to go down. It is, once again, 4 Zerglings and Ling Speed. But, guess what? It's not Command Center first. I think Ling Speed's perfectly fine here. Even though you could arguably, since there's no Reaper, of course, skip the Lings and whatnot. The Lings are just staying at home, not even going across the map. 4 Lings do beat 2 Marines. Would have been cool if he caught these outside the base, but Maru knows his timing. He knows 4 to 6 Lings could be arriving off a hatch first, so he's going to pull back. But you can tell Maru's really not worried about any pull first openings. He's kind of got Solar pegged as a guy who's just going to go hatch first. 6 out of 7 games here. Like, there might be one game where he does a pull first, Roach Sling all in, or does this or that. Oh, can we block it? Zergling. Oh, hold position, Solar. Oh no, Solar. He could have held position there and delayed those Hellions by 10 seconds. It's not the biggest deal. The Marines would have come down and cleaned it up, but would have been cool if he was able to stop that. Anyways, Ling Speed's on the way. 3 Queens are on the way behind the third hatchery. Second gas went down, so Maru's not going quick third command center this time. So after the last game where he was like, okay, greedy build third command center, this time he's like, well, this time I'm denying scouting. I'm going to have early Hellions, which could dive, and really early Lib, Banshee, Battle Cruiser. I don't think we're going to see Battle Cruiser in this series at all. The pros are just always building so many Queens. Only time Battle Cruiser catches someone low on Queens is, and it's actually a medevac, it's when someone does one of these, like, no Ling Speed Roach openings, and they just build, like, 5 Queens only, but that's pretty rare. If you 12 pool, could you stop the factory? I mean, you absolutely could, yeah, for sure, but 12 pool, of course, very unreliable against most builds. But against, like, this sort of opening Maru's doing, it's probably a free win. If you were to 12 pool, but, you know, Maru's whole playstyle, these, like, low-ground wall-offs, not even going 2 RAX Reaper, has basically just been like, I know you're Solar, you're very predictable. And we talked about this earlier, like, he's an incredibly predictable player. It's not a bad thing. He's very good at playing that style. And we're going to see a very quick Hellbat timing. Oh, hello. 6 Marines coming across. No Roach Roar, no Spine Crawler. Can the Queen Ling defend? There's 5 Queens out, 6th one popping right now. It's going to be 6 Marines and 6 Hellbats. Let's see what he can do. Maru getting ready. Next boost is ready. He's going to boost forward. He's going for it. But the Queens have got plenty of creep to micro on. And as long as he pulls these Queens back individually, Solar can do really well. The Lings get great damage before the Hellbat Morph is even finished. And then they pull back. 1 Queen already goes down, though. Spore Crawler, though, taking out the medevac means this is kind of shut down before it even gets started. Maru's going to try to pull up that ramp, which I think is a really good call. Now the Hellbat falls. Another one bites the dust. Solar already back to mining on his natural. He'll pull away here. The Evo Chamber's cute. Maru could have tried to focus it, but instead he's going to rotate around. This is a good shutdown for Solar in this game. And those Queens should be able to deal with this very nicely. More Hellions coming in along with the Liberator. Can the Hellions on the third base make some lemonade out of the absolutely sour start to this game that they've had? Well, 2 drones, not bad. Make it 4. Going to lose at least one of these Hellions, but the Liberator on the natural. Solar not looking right now. Solar, oh gosh, he moved his Queen in the wrong direction, but that's okay. Spore Crawler moves down. Lib has to pull back. 6 drones in total. You might think, oh, that's decent. It's not really. That's a good snack of Zerglings. Not quite a feast. He'd like a Zergling feast for those Hellions as he goes into mech. Oh, right. Huge commitment in the early game. Solar weathers the storm just fine, guys. He's got 1/1 melee carapace on the way. 4th hatchery should be going down soon. Solar's not usually one to rush that. Does he see the 2nd factory? I mean, he sees a gas going down in the natural kind of early, but I don't think that really tells you too much. Ideally, as Solar, you realize as quickly as possible what's happening so you can deflect that. Liberator comes in from the top angle. Spore Crawler not able to land a hit. And really well done with the Queen and the Spore. All right, guys, sorry, we just had a little technical glitch there. The Liberator does siege up in the corner. I've realized installing a very big game on my computer while also recording at the incredibly high bit rates that I do record at. Probably not the greatest idea, so hopefully we won't have any more of those freeze-ups in this. Lesson learned, my bad. Got to treat my computer with a bit more love. 4th hatchery in the north side as well. We've got the double gas going up there as well. And the 2 Hellions. Oh, he's going to go for the base snipe. No way. No, Maru, you greedy boy. Is he going to get it? It's worth sacking a few Lings to save this. I would have gone for the Lings around. Yeah, it's so annoying losing your 4th base like this for Solar. But Solar does have a Roach Horn, so maybe he realizes... Oh, he did see the 2nd factory on the front. Sorry, guys. He does know... Okay, so he knows. He does know it's Mac. He's still going to let melee carapace finish because they were so far along, but he'll obviously swap to range, Roach speed. He's even going to get a Hydra Den in case there are Banshees, right? He's like, well, I hate going no anti-air and then having like 2 Banshees kill unlimited Roaches. And that's the correct call because it is Hyperflight Rotor's Banshees, as we can see. So Banshee speed upgrade being made. So even just a few Hydras, you don't even need upgrades for them necessarily. A good addition to this. Solar's very good at all-inning mech, but it's been a weird early game, right? Some things, have, like his initial defense was really good. Units lost tab has petered out a little bit. I think Solar's still a little ahead on the momentum. But Maru building a 4th command center as well. If Maru can stop at about 6 or 8 Cyclones, start harassing both sides of the map with like, say you have 8 Hellions and 3 Cyclones on each side of the map, you can kind of screw Solar's position up, and then you can just go into like traditional mech behind it, tanks, Thors, all that stuff. Double armory's coming down. He's going vehicle weapons, which tells us he's not going to be battle mech focused. He is going to swap siege tanks and Thors and Hellbats because that attack upgrade does not help the Cyclone lock-on. The lock-on is spell damage, guys. It's like ability, spell damage, whatever you want to call it. Essentially, it's not affected by upgrades, whether armor or attack on either side of that equation. Hellion's going to dive there, gets a couple of drones, but a bit of a throwaway on these Hellions, as they are almost all going to die. It's like 3. Okay, 3 of them escape. Not as bad as I thought. Banshee's coming in at the same time, though. That Spore Crawler position to deal with Liberators. Banshees after Libs is kind of nice because Spores are always in the wrong position to defend, right? Against Libs, you want to move behind the mineral line and stop the siege up. And then against Banshees, you just want it smack bang in the center. 8 more drones going down. Maru finding some good damage here. Going to come back in again. He's trying to be as annoying as he can, but only 1 drone for those Hellions. Behind this, the triple tank production started. So there we go. Perfect tank production timing for Maru. Yeah, if he can get vehicle armor started, have his tank sieged in a really nice defensible position. He's trying to build a semi-wall off as well, so it's hard to get on top. It does look like a Roach Hydra all in. We've got Overlord speed on the way. Solar's just saying, screw it, I'm just going to go all in. Like I said, Solar's very good at all-inning mech, but because he commits so much to killing mech players, he very rarely goes to the late game. Late game, I think he could really struggle with Maru's mech, but it's all about getting there. Maru's invested a lot in these Banshees, which means he's only got, I think, 3... He's got 5 siege tanks, actually. So he's got a pretty decent unit count. He's just got to make sure he guards those tanks. And look at the way this army's split. He wants to catch the Cyclone Hellion on the map, does Solar. But Maru, really good defensive setup. Doesn't have the planetary ready on the 4th, though. This could be a nice window to attack here. Hellion Cyclone's going to go down there. The rest of the army coming through the middle as well. Uh-oh. Banshee's coming from behind. But there's an overseer there. 1 Banshee goes down. The Banshee's getting caught. Already a tanker's fallen as well. Oh, another Banshee goes down. Beautiful surprise attack timing here for Solar. He's caught Maru off guard. Command Center's going to die. The other one lives. The SCV's pulling back. The Hellbats haven't been morphed. He needs Hellbats. Maru needs to morph Hellbats to guard these siege tanks. He needs as many hit points as possible. Hellbats will clear Zerglings the fastest, they get rallied in, and they will tank the best, but his army's very damaged. He's taking big damage here. Solar going to start to come in with a big arc of Roach Ravager Hydra. Bio starting to land on these siege tanks as well. The SCV count trying to defend up front, but he just doesn't quite have enough siege tanks. Maru, he tried to transition into them, but the Banshees were maybe a little too early, and I think honestly he had the numbers to defend, but he's taking so much damage. I think he had the numbers, he just didn't realize the attack was coming. I think Solar did an excellent job of getting that first little army down there. And he completely blindsides Maru. The early defense, of course, was really good, but I just want to look at that army again, because this is one of these things. If he sees it coming and gets like his entire army all set up here, it's good. It's just his tanks end up a bit too spread out, right? This army appears out of nowhere, and then the Banshees are kind of trapped on the wrong side, loses a bunch of those, which are normally a very big part of your damage. These Hellions, I think, rally through the enemy army and get themselves killed as well. He tried to counter, but then it kind of F2s them through. So those Hellions do nothing. And I'm telling you, every Hellbat morphed with your siege tanks in front of them is huge. Because normally, let's go back a few seconds. If he's coming in and you've got like 6 Hellbats here, 6 Hellbats over here, it's so hard to get on top of these siege tanks. But with only 2 tanks in range, 1 going down, he loses 2 Banshees and a tank almost immediately. And he never gets a Hellbat morph, loses most of his Hellions before the fight really starts. This was a really brilliant attack by Solar. He just finds that little sliver of an opening and catches Maru out. If he attacked 30 seconds later, Planetary's up, Hellbats and tanks are all in position reinforcing. This is pretty much unbreakable to this style of attack. But Solar, he's such a wizard at finding his timing. Really well done. GG, well played. All right, guys. We've got Maru in the bottom right side of the map and Solar in the top left. Let's go. It's going to be Pylon. Solar not going down without a fight. And Maru finally doing a normie opening and going for a high ground depot. His greed has been next level this series, but the mech greed on ley lines not quite working out. I think ley lines, he probably wanted to do it because there's so many good ledges. Once you get to like 5 base, you can kind of branch forward through the middle of that map with tanks, and it's just so hard to deal with all of the different ledges unless the Zerg has like a good momentum start and goes for swarm hosts early or something like that, which of course was not the case. Now Maru, no, he's still going to go command center first, guys. Wow, but he's going to have the high ground wall off behind it for a little bit of safety. Hatchery first here for Solar. Oh man, one has to wonder, like, if you're playing Maru and he knows that you're a very conservative guy like Solar, yeah, if you just 12 pull drone pull, how many games, like what's the percentage you get a free win? Is it above 50%? Because I think even the low ground single barracks dies to a 12 pull drone pull. Actually, I wonder if 2 racks on the low ground dies to 12 pull drone pull. Do you guys know? I've never tested that. But I wonder if you can, like, stop the second barracks getting up and then maybe even kill the first barracks before a Reaper gets out. You might be able to. Which would be wild. Like, Maru with the builds he's doing here might actually just die to 12 pull drone pull every single game. And that's an all-in, which is bad against the really standard Terran builds, which is why Zerg never does it. But this is kind of, you know, if something becomes too consistent and too reliable, then you can absolutely mix it in. I'm not saying you should do this every series against Maru, but the way Maru's playing is very good because it's making me, as a guy who's looking at the builds that they're both doing and seeing very conservative play for Solar and like aggressively greedy play for Maru, usually you're kind of like, this is Maru playing poker and pushing his edges as far as he can, constantly like bluffing his way through the early game, while Solar's playing a little bit too safe. His cards are a little bit too close to his chest. He's kind of like, oh, gotta be careful of this, gotta be careful of that. He might have to call some of Maru's bluffs. He might have to take some gambles of his own to stop Maru getting away with this. It is going to be a second gas, so it's not going to be third command center. It's going to be more similar to that last game where he goes for a quick starport. But yeah, definitely. I think even with double gas off command center first, you can still get a really quick third command center. But at least he gets scouted. Okay, so Solar scouts it, sees what he's up against. He's like, okay, all right, you're playing a greedy build. Got double gas, all the information you could possibly want. That's really nice. So for Solar, the goal now should be, the thing is, can you be extra greedy in response to this? I don't think so, because still the Hellions are coming out on time, right? The initial greed has already slipped by. Yes, there's no Reaper, so you can spread your creep a little faster. If he'd gone Creep Tumor first instead of injecting the natural, actually that would have been really good against this. As good as injects are, I think an immediate Creep Tumor is one of the best ways you can punish a Terran who skips a Reaper. Yeah, so that's actually, this is a small, I haven't paid attention to this in the previous games, guys, but think about it. Maru skipped Reaper almost every game. Going Creep Tumor immediately is one of the best things you can possibly do. All right, Roach Horn's on the way. This is interesting, though, because it's Ling speed into Roach Warren. Are we committing to a Ravager Ling attack, Solar? I mean, this looks pretty all in. Unfortunately for him, he's dealing with a quick Banshee opening. He did see double gas. Double gas openings, Roach Aggression's not as good against unless it's BC or like Viking Lib or something. He might think it's Viking Lib, but now he sees the Banshees. He's already built 6 Roaches off a Ling speed opening, 7 even. I mean, don't get me wrong. If that Banshee flies across the map, you sneak your Roaches across, this could work. This could be really good. But you need to sneak these Roaches across this map. If they get spotted by the Hellions, it's going to be nasty business. He's got a few Lings out there. If you can try to, like, you know, send the Lings back, that could be good. He's trying to hide these Roaches. He does not want the Hellion to see that. The Overlords are a bit too close, though. If your Overlords are further out, you can see the Hellions. But because Solar keeps a very safe, tight Overlord vision ring, it's actually really bad because he doesn't know where these Hellions are. Luckily, though, he's hidden the Roaches so far. Oh, no, he's sending them left. He's accidentally sent them in the wrong direction. Oh, the Banshee might see this. That little diversion may cost him. It does. Solar with a misclick. Oh, no, it gives up the trick. If he didn't misclick those Roaches, I think that Roach might have got out to the left side and got ahead of this. As it is, he still snuck a bunch of Roaches across the map, but this does give Maru valuable time to pull to the high ground, which is exactly what he needs to do. Maru cannot defend the low ground. He must give up the depots and the gas on the natural, but if he can survive on the high ground, he will be good. There's only one Banshee. He didn't build a second, only one Banshee. Not as good for defending this. Roach is going to try and fight these Hellions. The Roachling on the natural doing what they can. I don't think he can bust the depots, though. Hellions doing splash damage on the ramp is just so effective, and he kills a few depots, get 5 SCVs, get some gases, and that's all, and he has to back away. Solar droning, going double Evo Chamber, and Delaire, and he's going to try to transition. Now, obviously, he did some damage. He kept some army alive. Unit trading is good. Problem, 1-1's almost finished. Armory starting as well. Now, I don't know if that armory makes a ton of sense. Well, I guess if he does... No, it doesn't make any sense to build armory. So Maru's reasoning is good, guys, in that he wants to start 2-2 because he's already got an upgrade advantage. He wants to build on that. Doesn't make sense because his natural's been denied. He doesn't have enough gas. So even if he cuts all gas production now, he's not going to be able to afford 2-2 for quite some time. Maybe he can squeeze in +2 attack, and I guess that is the more important upgrade, but that armory, not going to be the biggest priority. That's a common... I know I've made that mistake many times where I've gone, oh, let's have 2-2 when he doesn't even have 1-1. This will be sick. And then you realize, hey, if they've killed your gases on your natural, you're going to be super gas-starved in this game. But hey, he does get the fast +2. Probably can't afford the +2 armor for a long time, though. Ravager's morphing, along with the Lings, should be able to defend as long as Solar keeps this 4th hatchery alive. Drop comes in. Got to move. Solar's got to get over here. Okay, he does react. But, oh, he's going to lose the 4th. Unfortunate. Okay. Oh, drones. 2 of them get focused, but he does take out 2 Marines. Few Lings up in the high ground. And Maru, brave drop. Sacrifices a couple of Marines here. Maru, what the heck? I do not think that was a good trade for Maru, guys. Yes, he cleared the Zerglings, but he lost a bunch of Marines doing it. Marines are worth way more than Zerglings at this stage because Zerglings want small, scrappy engagements. Marines want to build their number up because they've got the range advantage, the firepower advantage. The more Marines you get, the better they scale. Whereas Zerglings, the more you get, the more they get gunned down by Marines and tanks, right? You really want fights happening everywhere as messily as possible as a Zerg. As the Terran, you want one big, clean, organized engagement a lot of the time. Now he's going to go for... Is 8 racks again? That's 7 barracks to start. Might build an 8th one soon. Looks like 8 racks is the feature of the day. Solar's already got a hive started, though, as those barracks start. So I think he's pretty good on that timing. But we are playing Pylon, and this map has tank position there and there. Is brutal. These bridges, hard to flank across. You basically have to be mentally prepared to just counterattack the whole game. And one of the best things Solar could do is actually have a Lingbane army on the left. I think a mistake people often make is they see the 8 racks push out, and then they just only then go into the 3rd. But actually, if you can bust the natural and get on the production, that'll be huge. However, Maru has the safety tank, which kind of, it basically stops that sort of move I'm talking about. If Maru just leaves that tank in the main, he is rock solid against exactly what I'm saying is Zerg's best play on this map, and that just shows crazy good preparation for Maru. Queen's coming forward. Maru does pick up most of the Marines there. This base in the top right gets cancelled. Really hard to get a 5th on this map as well. Like, they all suck. This is the best one, but this map is terrible. In these corridors are an awful place for Zerg to fight. Because Terran with long-range units can pick up and shoot from either side, whereas you're stuck in this corridor. with no way to get across this giant blocker of minerals and ledges. Hellions clearing creep really well. Vipers are on the way. No adrenal glands just yet. Solar, of course, very starved for gas, but he does start it now. He's on just a handful of Roach Ravager. It's mostly Lingbane Viper. So this is not the same as the heavy Roach Ravager on Ultraloft, but oh, he loses a bunch of queens. Units lost tab, as you can see there. Now 2-1 in favor of Maru. Takes a nice little trade. And he's going to start pushing. It's 8 racks time, baby. 8 racks time. Doesn't even wait for add-ons. It's just pure Marine Marauder Siege tank. Only one Marauder, I think, building at a time as well. And he's got 3-3 on the way. And yet he's somehow got 10 Marauders out. He's been building Marauders off a single Tech Lab barracks, or was it double? Oh no, he went triple Tech Lab on his first 3 barracks. Oh, his first 5 barracks, he went 3 Tech Labs. That's crazy. Solar cannot defend this army. He goes for a counterattack. Massling counter gets in, but it's the natural that's wide open. The tank, the emergency tank on the high ground isn't there. If he breaks the production, that could be big. Maru says the best defense is the best offense. Drones are evacuating. Biles landing across this front line. But are there enough units to defend? Abducting on the siege tanks might be the best way to defend this. The Lings trade okay, but they are taking a while to breach the production, and they may need to come back to flank this army. I think Solar may need to go back to flank the army. There's more bio tank out on the high ground. His army at home struggling to defend. He's down 30 army supply. Maru just shoving, taking advantage of this small map. The Lings do evacuate. They've done critical damage to Maru's economy. Maru does not care if he can win the game right here, right now, though. Vipers, can they land the spells? He needs to come down this right flank and get rid of these siege tanks. He's going to go for it now. Here we go. Link flank comes in from the left side. The tank's starting to go down. The Banes not really able to find the mark. The pre-spread and the Marauder count is insane. Maru with so many Marauders off those first 5 barracks. And he manages to take advantage of pile. All right, it's now or never. His opponent abusing some very good 8 racks pushes. All of different types. That's what's so fun about this series. Maru has done now a 3 barracks with Tech Labs out of his first 5 barracks. And then the last 3 barracks, no add-ons. So it's still a very fast 8 racks. But he rushes to the Marauders up front. And those Marauders are such a problem. Like, I actually feel like the Marauders coming in at an early timing have always been a problem for these Roach Ravager builds. And I've always talked about it ever since Oliveira showed us how good 8 racks was a year ago at Dallas, year before this tournament. It was like, if you go the Roach Ravager start, it's really good against the really fast 8 racks where they just build 3 barracks with no add-ons, rally Marines and tanks, and it's pure Marine tank. Having Roach Ravager is so good because you can buy all the tanks and you kind of skirmish with the Marines and stutter step back and bait out stims and all sorts of stuff. Problem is, if they add 3 Tech Labs, hit a minute later, and they have like 10 Marauders with concussive up front, the dynamic completely shifts. The Roach Ravager's appallingly bad against that, it almost feels like, right? And that's what Maru's done a really good job of mixing in those really hard-hitting ones, but also delaying and adding the 8 racks. And now he's back to 2 racks Reaper here in what could be his game-winning match. Solar, I really thought it's time to be greedy as Solar, to cut a corner. It's time to do something special. Maru's doing extreme greed. Solar's like, nah, I'm going to do my completely standard build. Doesn't pull off gas. And that's actually really good for him. Because like I said, I would feel like, dude, you're down these games. You got to gamble. You have to be risky. Solar's going to play conservative against Maru. So this is really interesting. Yeah, Ling speed starts. Look at that. Immediate Ling speed before 3rd hatchery. Solar's like, dude, I play safe. I play solid. This is how I play StarCraft. I have faith in my late game. I have faith in my mid-game onwards. Question is, can he get there? Can he get there? Big thank you, Jake, for the sub, by the way. Appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drone, Spore Trick. Does it just have to pull it back? No Spore Trick. And good safe play with that drone. Queen goes for the inject, so double inject. And with that 3rd hatchery on the way, we're going to get our 3rd cancelled again. Back to game 1 all over again, is it? 4th Reapers on the way. 3rd command center's built. This looks just like game 1 on Maganatha. Now, instead of building so many things, you could accept this is going to die. Already send a drone over here. And start rebuilding that while droning up. Go to 30 drones, then build Zerglings. Solar's going to try to save this. And if he surrounds the Reapers pretty quickly, I think he was in a fine position in game 1. I don't think there's anything wrong with that position. It was one of his better starts, I would even say. All right. I don't think you can save it, but as long as you can rebuild it quick enough, that'll be something. 10 seconds, still Ling speed. 1 Zergling's already almost dead. Reapers are trapping themselves. They're happy to trap themselves in there. The Lings should be able to cut off the escape. Oh! Actually, 2 Reapers getting by. That was shocking. I mean, he should be able to go over here and stop the Reapers getting inside the main if he just clicks in that direction. Reaper's best bet's probably to hide in the corner of the map. And those Lings, yep, they know what they've got to stop, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Like to see Solar split his Lings up a bit here. Oh my gosh, he let one escape. Should have split his Lings. If you just leave a few Lings, like 2 Lings there, 2 Lings there, and the rest, like if you just A-move a few of the units, I think trying to control all as one go, Maru does get to juke his way out. Now, Maru would straight up die to a Baneling bust here, but Solar would have needed to stay on gas from earlier. Oh no, he's actually committing. Is he? Oh, it's a very late Bane bust though. 39 workers? No, this is way too late to do a Bane bust, isn't it, guys? I guess he can blow up Stim, though. If you know you can reliably blow up Stim and get in, oh yeah, this could still work. This could still work. Okay. I mean, we've gone 5 Queens and 40 drones, so it's definitely not a super all-in-ling Bane bust. And now, builds 20 Zerglings and a Bane nest, and now he goes Lair. Okay, Solar maybe being a little indecisive. I would have loved to see him commit hard to an early bust, because, like, there's just no defense. Not even a safety bunker. He's like, I have 2 Hellions. He's going to have 4 Hellions, 3 Marines. Once again, insanely fast 1-1 upgrades. Maru's already gearing up for an 8 RAX. If you go upgrades this early, you're already thinking about hitting a 2-2 8 RAX. Damn. On this map, I don't think it's as bad as some of the others, but there are still some pretty good tank positions. Taking these rocks down will make it not as bad. But there's tank push down here. You can't really get at the tanks behind that side. Also, if you take this 4th, tanks down there are insanely good. So there's some really good, not all in, but just like deny the edge base tank pushes that really make the map claustrophobic for Zerg. Like many of these maps, counterattacks may be the best option. Ling's looking for the wrap. Wants to surround these Hellions, but the Hellions are aware. 1-1 upgrades are on the way pretty early. 5 minutes 30 they've started. Of course, 1-1's already almost finished with an armory almost done as well for Maru. Such a fast armory. He's going to start tanks. He's going to start medevacs. 3rd barracks is going up there. Hellions still clearing creep on this side. So, yeah, basically Maru's like, look, I've got Hellions. Then I do double medevac stim pressure. And then I just make 5 more barracks after this, right? You're on 3. You're just going to make 5 more barracks while saturating your 3rd base. Yeah, it's a really clean and simple plan. And oh, so many Zerglings. Quite a few Lings go down. Even though the trading's been positive for Zerg, remember, losing that 3rd hatchery early does slow you down. Supply-wise, looks good for Solar. Oh, drones going down, though. This Ling Bane kind of just chilling. Very paranoid. Look at this. He's made so many Banelings. He was afraid of a Hellbat timing. He thought Maru was going to do a Hellbat timing, and Maru might, but it's a lot later than he expected. The Banelings were ready, like, a minute before this push is going to hit. Extra barracks are starting to go down in the main. That's a 4th and 5th barracks starting up there. 3rd command center is almost saturated. 2-2s on the way for Terran, along with combat shields. Here's that Hellbat Marine timing. The Baneling count should be more than enough to defend this, but he's a little further away than he should be. Okay, those Banes are going to come forward. He's hidden them. Solar tries to bait Maru in kind of deep here. The bait speed's done. Hellbat tries to focus in. Ooh, gets a good hit on the Marines. Nicely done. And the Ling Bane will clean up. Does lose a few more Banelings there than he maybe would have wanted to trade, but I think that's still good to just shut it down, get this creep out, spread this creep through the middle. If he can get creep a bit further out, it's going to be big. And right now, there's a moment of respite. Solar's got to be spreading this creep. There we go. Spreads it forward. Spreads it on the right. His hive started. 1-1 is finishing for him. How quickly does he start +2 carapace? The starter... Yeah, he's so quick. Solar. He's evolving as this match goes on. He's on 80 drones. He knows what's happening. He's on 5 gas. And he's just going to go pure Ling Bane into Vipers, which I think is a great way to play. And I think you want to be ready with a big Ling Bane army to counter when this 8 RAX hits. Has he scouted the 8 RAX? You might be asking yourself. I don't think he needs to. I think he just assumes it's happening, guys. I think scouting at this moment in this series, Maru's tipped his hand. I'm going to 8 RAX and you can't stop it. It's not about if it's happening. It's about if Solar has an answer even when he knows it's coming. Ling Bane down here trying to defend. Maru has been optimizing his upgrades and his push timing so very well in this series. And he's getting very close to pushing out again. Extra barracks are finishing. I don't think he waits for add-ons on those. 2-2's already almost done. So early. Does he only have 1 tank? 2 tanks. His army's not that big. He might actually not be ready to push with 2-2. Maru might wait a little bit longer. He adds another gas here, still adding depots. He gets a hatchery kill. Banelings clear a few Marines, but nothing too crazy. And it is just Marines on those last 3 barracks. Solar trying to go Ultra Cavern. 2 Vipers on the way, Adrenal, and 2-2. Ling Bane will get rid of these Marines. Maru just trying to trade as best he can. Picks off 2 Banelings. 1,000 resources better in the trading so far. Continuing to be very annoying for Solar to deal with. Solar trying to make it so he can't just unload for free. And the army going to push down this left side. He's going to look for this tank position on the left. One of the scariest, but Vipers should counter that really well. And I actually think this is Solar's best game. I think Solar's like, he skipped the Hydras, he skipped the Overlord speed, he skipped the Lurkers. It's all hypermobile units and Vipers. Things that should be able to deal with this. But this drop has already been a nuisance. Doesn't have a Spore or a Queen on that side. Ling Bane will respond, but Maru just distracting him. That's allowing the army. This Zergling didn't see the move out. The army just moved right past that Zergling. He didn't see it. Uh-oh. I don't think Solar's aware of it. He pushes this drop back, but now he sees this army. I think he can clear it. He's got the numbers. He's hiding outside of scan. He's just outside of scan. Go! Solar's gonna go. The tanks are moving in. It's tight. He's got to get on top of it now before the tank siege. He's trying to move in there. The tank siege. The blinding cloud says, lol, you clumped up your tanks, you dum-dum. He should throw another blinding cloud down. He does to make sure that one doesn't wear off. All the tanks get taken out, but Maru goes for the YOLO. The Ling Bane on this side, it looks like Solar may have F2'd. He pulled his Ling Bane squad away, loses 6 drones at the same time. Maru dives the main. He also picks up and dives that base. Oh, he's going to Twister him. He's going to do the Twister. Hits 3 bases simultaneously. It's Solar. He has been F2'ing a little bit here. Hasn't kept his unit spread, and that means on the bottom right side, he might even cancel that base. The Ling Bane gets in. Maru picks up at the last second. 16 drones have gone down. He's still got Marine Marauder on the third as well. He can just pick up and drop. He might just redrop the main base. I think he will. I think he might redrop that main base. Bottom right side, hatchery goes down. Drone there's going to be falling as well. Maru dropping on top of the Ling Bane. A little bit of a wild decision. You can tell Maru a little frantic in this scenario. He could redrop the main base. That single queen, not enough anti-air. There's 7 queens on this map, but 4 of them may be going down to the Marine Marauder on the right side. Not to mention, he just lost 1 in the main base. Vipers in the open. Parasitic bombs on these medevacs would be nice. Oh, very well done. Couple of good parasitic bombs. The Vipers are going to start to push this away, but he's got to split his army up. Solar needs a dumping key right now. He's got to leave these units split up. You can tell he keeps kind of clumping his whole army just a little bit more than he needs to. And oh, another hatchery goes down. Great snipe there for Maru. And he's got a tank. A tank on the low ground in the very annoying spot. These units, they didn't stay on drop defense. He's got to keep his units organized. Solar really needs 3 separate control grids to deal with this. This has been a weakness he's shown against Beyond in the past, and I think in this intense moment, Maru sensing weakness, his front army got wrecked. Maru's front army got destroyed, but he's built a 4th base behind this. He's taken out the Ultra Cavern, and he is just dropping Solar to death here. I'm sure there's people in the comments going, why not just build spores? It's not even about building spores. This is a multitasking era, guys. It's a high-pressure moment, and Solar, he normally multitasks better than this. But there was no reason for him to have spores in this game when he's defending an 8 RAX that looked like an all-in, and it was an incredibly committed attack. He could not afford spores, and once the Twister was going, you can't build spores underneath their drops. It's purely about splitting your army into 3 base places on different control groups. Solar F2'd the army on the left, opened up a problem on the right. When he was scrambling for that, the drop into the main meant he had to split his army again. Then he pulled those guys back into his main army. There was redundant actions here. It was simply not using a dumping hotkey correctly, I think. In my opinion, it felt like either he wasn't using his control group in stealing, he was just panicking a little bit, which happens. You're in a grand finals. You're on a big stage. You're playing a guy who's been bullying you for this series with 8 RAX. You crush the 8 RAX attack for the first time, and he just picks up and drops you everywhere. Solar wasn't prepared for this. In his mind, this whole game was focused on dealing with the 8 RAX. And and he did it so well, but Maru showed the flexibility, immediately swaps to multi-drop Terran, scrambles out of trouble, takes a 4th, takes a 5th. He's got 3-3. He's swapping a drilling claws now, and he basically just swaps from a frontal, really hard push style to the multi-prong. And I don't think Solar was quick enough to adapt and realize the state of the game had completely flipped on a dime. It went from just hold this frontal attack to, oh my god, split up and defend 3-4 mineral lines at once, and that's something Solar's been really struggling to deal with. Obviously, at this point, a few spores would be nice, but he's so far down on supply, he can't really afford any money. He's too far in the bin now. He's too far down the drain. He's too far behind. Infestation pit goes down. He can't get this hatchery back up. And there's no good choices at this point. Yeah, there's no good choices at this point. Don't get me wrong. Vipers are decent anti-air, but they take a long time to parasitic bomb down these medevacs. A very long time. Tank gets abducted, but no one's there to actually finish it. These drops just will not relent. And once you don't have the numbers to defend, it's too difficult. Like, he doesn't have the numbers to split up anymore. It's the initial defense that gets you. A lot of people see these sort of games and they go, oh, idiot, just build more anti-air. Why didn't he just do this or that? It's the initial response is everything. It's the initial unit split. But Maru's going to get the win. Solar says GG, congrats to his longtime friend, former teammate. And Maru dominates there. We have to give Maru massive credit for hitting such a range of 8 racks attacks. Was it 8 racks into 8 racks into 8 racks into 8 racks? Yes. But very greedy builds. He did 2 different 2 racks Reaper builds that are a bit more aggressive, that kind of put the Zerg on notice, make them panic, which is good because it makes the Zerg a bit afraid and meant it kind of reinforced Solar's inclination, which he already has, to play very safe, conservative StarCraft. And that allowed him, so that was 2 out of 5 games. And then the other 3 games were such extreme greed. And even after the 2 Rex Reapers, he played extreme greed. But look at this. 3rd command center into double engineering bay goes down at about 3 minutes 40. Like, that's sick greed, right? But Solar usually doesn't do a lot of all-ins. And he'd also used up his all-in in the previous game on Pylon with the Roachling. Solar, I don't know the last time I saw him do 2 different all-ins in a best of 5 or best of 7 against Terran. Normally it's a Bane bust, occasionally a Roachling like he tried on Pylon. Didn't work out there. Keep in mind, if he didn't misclick his Roach back on Pylon and get it spotted by that Banshee, he might have done crazy damage there. He might have just won that game. This could be a very different series, but Maru's Banshee just barely seeing where Solar's push was coming from. And Maru just doing such a good job of setting up for these 8 Raxes. I love the 3 Tech Lab barracks as well. Like, so many cool adjustments for Maru in this series. And I really love how he prepared so much better than last year. He came in not playing like a ladder Terran or build orders that showed he knew exactly how to beat Solar. And he continues his really big head-to-head advantage over Solar, as well as winning DreamHack Dallas. GG, well played. Maru comes out as the champion. GG, well played.